Okay, so I came across this fight between Adam22 and Jason Luv, and I wanted to share my thoughts and some things that you can take away from this whole thing. Now, I'll start off by saying that it wasn't a good fight at all. It was a short fight, but in terms of actual skill and boxing, it wasn't a good fight. And I wasn't expecting it to be either. Nonetheless, I have a level of respect for guys that get into the ring because it's not easy to do that. So I respect Jason Luv for getting into the ring because, again, it's not an easy thing to do. And he pounded both Adam and his wife, so how can you not respect the guy? But when it comes to Adam, I look, it's nice he got into the ring. But look, there's a very select group of guys I just cannot respect, no matter what. Cucks are one of those guys. I can't respect a cuck, and Adam is a cuck. If you don't know, Jason slept with Adam's wife, with Adam's knowledge. He knew about it. And so Adam's a cuck, but it's not just that he's a cuck, it's that he pushes it and promotes it, and he's proud to be a cuck. He's the ultimate cuck. So, yeah, he got into the ring, but I can't respect him because of that. I just can't do it. But Jason Luv, I do respect him. Now, the first thing that came to my mind when I was watching this fight was, like I said, it was a short fight, but it really put into perspective how good actual fighters are. It really showed that there are levels to this. Because I remember there was a debate going on social media. I mean, it's still happening, but Bradley Martin did a podcast with Devin Haney. And I'm pretty sure he was the one that did it with Aljamain Sterling too, if I remember correctly. But Bradley Martin, he's a big guy. I think he's like 250 pounds of muscle or something like that, bodybuilder type. And he did a podcast with Devin Haney and Aljamain Sterling, separate podcasts. And if you don't know, Devin Haney is a world champion boxer. Aljamain Sterling was the UFC bantamweight champion at one point. And Bradley Martin was saying that he could beat those two in a fight. Why? Because he's bigger than them. Those two, Devin Haney and Aljamain Sterling, they probably walk around 160 pounds, 170 pounds, something like that. Bradley Martin is like 250 pounds of muscle. So he was saying because of the size difference, he can beat them in a fight. Yeah, I'll just grab you and that's it. No. Look, I'm not one of those guys that says, yeah, size doesn't mean anything. Size is definitely a factor in a fight. But skill is the most important thing. Skill beats size. I don't care who it is. Skill is going to beat size. An actual fighter, if he fights a guy that's bigger than him, a guy that's bigger than him, but unskilled, the smaller actual fighter is going to win. Aljamain Sterling is going to beat Bradley Martin in a fight. Devin Haney is going to beat him in a fight just because of the skill difference. There's a big gap in the skill difference, and the skill is the most important thing. I'm telling you, actual fighters are just, they understand things like distance control and all that just the average person just cannot fathom. They understand it at a level that the average person just cannot understand. And an example that I've seen this myself before, for example, there's this guy, when I say this, there's a guy that's in the jiu-jitsu gym that I train at. He's not a big guy. He's probably 5'6", 5'7", something like that. 140 pounds, 150 pounds. He's around there. So 5'6" to 5'7", 140 to 150 pounds. And he's a purple belt. So he's not even a black belt. I mean, purple belt is good, but it's not black belt level. Still really good though. And he's a really nice guy. I really love to roll with him because he's fun to roll with and you learn a lot when you're rolling with him. And he's really good too, skill-wise. And I've seen it myself in the jiu-jitsu gym. He'll roll with guys that are 200 plus pounds. And he will beat them. He will whoop them. And he doesn't just whoop them, he will beat them with ease. He'll stay calm throughout the whole thing. I've literally seen it. He'll roll with a guy that's 220 pounds, for example. The guy that's 220 pounds, He'll be struggling. He'll be all tense and just going all out. But the guy that's 150 pounds, this guy that I brought up, you'll just see him very calm, very relaxed. One arm here. Okay, let me put this leg over here, this arm over here. Let me move his hand here. And before you know it, he has the guy in a chokehold. And he stays calm throughout the whole thing. So, and I see this all the time. He does it all the time in the gym. And these are guys that, these guys that are 200 plus pounds that he beats, these aren't average people. These aren't just the average guy that's untrained. No, these guys are trained. They compete as well. They've competed in tournaments they've won before. So imagine what this smaller guy, this 140 pound, 150 pound guy, this purple belt, imagine what he'll do to the guy that's untrained, that has no skill whatsoever. And then imagine somebody that's world class, somebody that like Aljamain Sterling, what they'll do to the unskilled person. So this fight really, it really, like I said, it put into perspective how good an actual fighter is. And something else that came to my mind when I was watching this fight, and this is something I've talked about before, but it shows that you don't need much to make yourself capable of defending yourself against 99% of people. Because I'm telling you, most guys, even though they'll talk like tough guys, they'll go on a fight video and they'll start commenting, yeah, this guy sucks, he doesn't know what he's doing, should have moved his feet and should have done that, blah, blah, blah. They'll start giving their expert opinion. But I'm telling you, most guys, especially these tough guys, they'll fight like Jason Luv if they were to get into the ring. They'll be very stiff, very, very slow, very nervous. They'll start swinging and dropping their hands down instead of bringing it back to their face. They just won't know what they're doing. And if you were to fight one of these guys, or even Jason Luv, say you were to step into the ring with Jason Luv, you really wouldn't need much to beat the guy, even if he's bigger than you. All you would need is good cardio, some muscle because you want to lift weights and have a strong body, and just basic boxing. You don't need anything too complicated or fancy or advanced. All you need is a good stance, hands up, chin down, good straight punches, a good 1-2, a good jab, and just after you throw a punch, you bring your hand back to your chin. You don't just throw a punch and drop it. If you do these things, you could beat, that's all you would need to beat someone like Jason Luv or most guys in a fight. And basic wrestling and jiu-jitsu. These are things I've talked about before, but just the basics. You don't need anything too advanced. So, again, just learn the basics of fighting and you'll be able to defend yourself against 99% of people. That's something else I noticed when I was watching. And just another thing, just don't be a cuck. Just don't do that. Look, something, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but something I'm noticing with this whole Adam and Jason thing and whatever, it seems like there's a push for cuckoldry to be normalized. And I'm typically, personally, I'm not a guy that really cares what other people do. I'm not a guy that likes to gossip about others, talk about social media influencers and celebrities and whatever, unless there's something to be gained from it. There's a lesson to be gained from it. But just gossiping for the sake of gossip and just getting into other people's business, I don't care about that. But just cuckoldry is just, like I said, I can't respect it. And it seems like there's a push for it, for men to just accept cuckoldry. And I don't know, because Adam he's doing this thing where he's like I said, he's a proud cuck. He's pushing it and promoting it, and he's doing this thing where it's like, yeah, I'm married, I joke about cuckoldry, and he turns it into something comedic, like some sort of comedy. He makes jokes about it, and he has like a podcast, and he's this successful guy, but he's also a cuck. I don't know. It seems like he's really trying to push for cuckoldry to be accepted by people and for it to be normalized. But just don't be a cuck. Dude, if you don't let your girlfriend or wife just start sleeping with other guys. And look, if she does it behind your back, that's one thing. Walk away. Don't let your woman do that. Just walk away if she ends up cheating on you. But just don't be one of those guys that just lets your woman sleep around with a bunch of guys. Because I also saw this post afterwards where Adam and his wife were kissing this. I think it was a poster of Jason Luv or something like that. And this was apparently after the fight. So it really seems like he's like him and some other people are really pushing for cuckoldry to be normalized, which just goes against the nature for us guys. Don't accept it. Don't be that kind of guy. Don't be a cuck. Don't let your woman start sleeping around with other guys. And if you're one of those guys, if you're a cuck, don't please don't watch my stuff. Don't need you here. Don't need cucks. Don't need to be surrounded by cucks. I don't want to be like you. Don't want to be anywhere near you. So, anyways, those are a few things you can take away from this whole thing between Adam and Jason.